Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Code Your English, the channel where we help you learn English and improve your life step by step with simple ideas and easy words. I'm so happy you're here today. In this episode, we're going to talk about a very interesting and powerful topic: discipline versus motivation. Which one do you really need? Now, maybe you've asked yourself this question before. You wake up in the morning and feel lazy. You want to study English, but you don't feel motivated. You say, "I'll do it later," or "I'll wait until I feel ready." Days pass, and you don't study. Have you ever felt like that? I think we all have. That's why this topic is so important, not only for learning English, but for everything in life. If you want to become a better student, a better speaker, or a better person, you need to understand how motivation and discipline work. Many people think they need motivation to start. They wait for the perfect moment. They wait to feel excited or inspired. But guess what? Motivation doesn't always come. Some days you feel it. Some days you don't. So what happens when you don't feel motivated? Will you stop learning? Will you give up? That's where discipline becomes your best friend. Discipline means doing what you need to do, even when you don't feel like doing it. It means showing up every day, taking small steps, and building habits. With discipline, you don't wait for motivation. You just do it. So today, in this episode, we'll look at: what is motivation, and when do we feel it? What is discipline, and why is it stronger than motivation? What are the key differences between the two? Why discipline helps you succeed more than motivation? And how you can build more discipline in your life, especially in your English journey. By the end of this episode, you'll know which one you really need more, and how to use both to grow stronger, more focused, and more confident in your English learning journey. So get ready, my friend. This is not just an English lesson, this is a life lesson too. Let's get started. What is motivation? So, let's begin by talking about motivation. What is motivation? In simple words, motivation is the feeling that makes you want to do something. It's like a push inside your mind or heart that says, "Let's go! Let's do it!" When you are motivated, you feel excited, full of energy, and ready to take action. It feels good. It feels strong. It feels like you can do anything. Motivation usually comes when we think about something we want. For example, imagine you want to speak English fluently. You watch a video of someone speaking great English. You feel inspired. You say, "Wow, I want to be like that." That feeling, that energy, is motivation. Or maybe you listen to music, a podcast, or a motivational speech, and suddenly you feel ready to start learning. That's motivation too. Many people feel motivated when they hear good news or when something exciting is about to happen. A student feels motivated at the beginning of a new school year. A person feels motivated on January 1st when making New Year's resolutions. Maybe you even feel motivated when you buy a new notebook and write "Day 1, let's learn English" in it. In those moments, your heart is happy, your mind is ready, and everything seems possible. It's a beautiful feeling. But here's something important to understand. Motivation doesn't stay forever. It comes and goes. Sometimes it's strong, and sometimes it disappears. Let's say you feel very motivated to study English today. You start with a smile, do your lessons, and feel proud. But the next day, Maybe you feel tired. You had a busy day. You sit down to study, but you don't feel that same excitement. You say to yourself, "Not today. I'll study tomorrow." That's how motivation works. It's based on feelings, and feelings can change easily. This is why many people start something with energy, but stop after a few days or weeks. Think about how many people join the gym in January. They go every day for 1 week. Then they miss a day. Then 2 days. Then they stop. Why? Because they were motivated in the beginning, but motivation faded away. The same thing happens when learning English. Many learners feel excited in the first week. They study hard, listen to podcasts, write new words. But when motivation disappears, they stop. They say, "I'm not feeling it anymore." So, yes, motivation is powerful, but only for a short time. It's like a spark. It starts the fire, but it doesn't keep the fire burning. For that, you need something stronger. Something that helps you move forward even when you feel tired, bored, or lazy. That something is what we'll talk about next: discipline. But before we move on, just remember this: motivation is not bad. It's actually very helpful. It can help you start. It can give you a great feeling. It can make learning fun and exciting. But don't wait for motivation every day. Don't depend on it to do the work. Because motivation will not always knock on your door. And if you wait for it, you may wait forever. So enjoy motivation when it comes. Use that energy. But also be ready for the days when it doesn't come. Because real progress, the kind that changes your life, doesn't come from feeling good. It comes from showing up every day, with or without motivation. Now that we understand what motivation is, let's talk about discipline, the real key to long-term success. What is discipline? Now that we understand what motivation is, let's talk about something even more powerful: discipline. So, what is discipline? In simple words, discipline means doing what you need to do, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's about staying consistent. It's about taking action again and again, not just one day, but every day, with or without motivation. Discipline is like a quiet friend who helps you stay on track, even when things feel boring, hard, or slow. Let's say you want to improve your English. Motivation may help you start, but after a few days, you feel tired or busy. If you have no discipline, you will stop. But if you have discipline, you will keep going. You will still listen to your English podcast. You will still read one page. You will still practice speaking for 5 minutes, even if you don't feel excited that day. Why? Because you know it's important, and you made a promise to yourself. Discipline is not something that just happens one day. It grows slowly. It becomes stronger with practice. Think of it like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. If you do one small thing every day, like studying English for 10 minutes, you are building your discipline. And that discipline will help you reach your goals step by step. Let's look at some simple examples of discipline in daily life. Waking up early every day, even when you feel sleepy, is discipline. Going for a walk or doing exercise regularly, even when the weather is not perfect, is discipline. Turning off your phone while you study is discipline. Choosing to study English for 20 minutes instead of watching TV is discipline. These small actions may feel hard in the moment, but they make a big difference over time. One important thing to remember is this: Discipline is not about how you feel. It's not about waiting until you're happy, excited, or full of energy. Discipline is about habits. It's about doing what's right, not what's easy. It's about training your brain to follow your plan, even when your heart says, I don't want to. And that's why discipline is more powerful than motivation. With discipline, you don't need to feel good to take action. You just do it. You know that small steps every day bring big results in the future. You don't need to study for hours. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be regular. You need to show up. That's the secret. So when people say, I can't speak English because I'm not motivated, they are missing the point. You don't need to feel motivated all the time. You need to be disciplined. You need to create habits. You need to say, I'll do it anyway. That is the mindset of a winner. Let me share one more idea with you. Discipline gives you freedom. It sounds strange, right? But it's true. When you are disciplined, you feel more in control. You feel proud of yourself. You feel confident. You stop waiting and start doing. You become the person who takes action. And that's the kind of person who learns faster, grows stronger, and achieves more in life. So, now you know. Motivation is the spark, but discipline is the fuel that keeps you going. Discipline helps you build habits, and habits, not feelings, are what lead to success. Motivation versus discipline. What's the difference? Now that we've talked about what motivation is and what discipline is, let's compare them. What's the real difference between the two? They both help us take action. They both seem important. But how are they different? The main difference is this. Motivation is about feelings, and discipline is about actions. Let's take a simple example. Going to the gym. Imagine you wake up in the morning. The sun is shining. You feel full of energy. You think, yes, I want to exercise today. I want to get healthy and strong. So you put on your gym clothes, go to the gym, and work out. You feel great. That is motivation. You did the workout because you felt like doing it. You had the emotion, the energy, the drive. Now let's look at another day. You wake up and feel tired. It's cold outside. You don't feel like moving. You say, I don't want to go to the gym today. I'm not in the mood. But then you remember your goal. You remember your plan. You promised yourself that you would go 3 times a week. So, even though you don't feel motivated, you get up, put on your gym clothes, and go. You do your workout, not because you feel like it, but because you know it's the right thing to do. That is discipline. Let's take another example. Learning English. Imagine you just watched a video of someone speaking English fluently. You feel inspired. You say, wow, I want to speak like that. You feel excited. So you open your book, you start practicing, you watch English videos, and you enjoy it. That's motivation. The strong feeling is pushing you to take action. But what about a normal day when you feel lazy or distracted? Maybe your friends are going out. Maybe your favorite show is on. You don't feel like studying, but then you say to yourself, no, I will study for 15 minutes. I promised myself. I want to improve my English. So you turn off the TV, you sit down, and you study. You do it not because you're excited, but because you're committed. That's discipline. So, again, motivation comes from how you feel. If you feel good, you take action. If you don't feel good, you don't. But discipline doesn't care about feelings. Discipline is about doing what needs to be done, no matter what. Motivation is like a friend who comes and goes. Discipline is like a best friend who stays with you every day. Motivation is helpful when starting something new. It gives you that first push. It helps you take the first step. But motivation is not always there. Some days, it disappears. That's where discipline takes over. Discipline is what keeps you going when the excitement is gone. It's what helps you practice English on a rainy day. It's what helps you wake up early to read, to write, or to exercise, even when your bed feels warm and cozy. Both motivation and discipline are useful. But now you can see the big difference. Motivation is about how you feel. Discipline is about what you do. If you only wait for motivation, you may not take action often. But if you develop discipline, you can do something every day. And that's how real progress happens. So next time you feel excited, enjoy it. Use that motivation. But when you don't feel like doing anything, don't worry. Just remember your goals. Take one small step. That's discipline. And that's what makes the biggest difference in the long run. Why motivation alone is not enough. Let's talk honestly. Motivation is great. It feels good. It can inspire us to start something new. It gives us energy. It gives us hope. But there is one big problem. Motivation does not last. It comes and goes. One day you feel super excited. The next day you feel tired, lazy, or distracted. That's just how motivation works. It's not strong every day. Many people think they need to feel motivated before they can take action. They say things like, "I'll start learning English when I feel ready," or "I'll study later when I feel more motivated." But here's the truth. If you always wait for motivation, you might never begin. Or you might begin and then stop again and again. Motivation is like the weather. Sometimes it's sunny, and sometimes it's cloudy. You can't control it. Some mornings you wake up happy and full of energy, but other days you feel slow and tired. That's normal. We are all human. But if you only study English or chase your dreams when you feel motivated, you will miss many chances. You will lose time, and you may even give up. Let's imagine someone named Lena. She wants to learn English. She says, "Yes, I'm ready. I want to speak English fluently." So she downloads some apps, watches a few YouTube videos, and studies every day for 1 week. She feels good. She's proud of herself. But then, one day, she feels tired. Maybe she had a long day at work. She says, "I'll skip just one day." The next day, she still doesn't feel like studying. She thinks, "I'm not motivated today. Maybe I'll wait until I feel ready again." Days pass. She doesn't come back to study. Weeks pass. Her English doesn't improve. She loses confidence. She says, "Maybe I'm just not good at languages." But the truth is not that she's bad at English. The truth is, she was depending only on motivation. And when it disappeared, she had no plan, no habit, and no discipline to keep going. And that's why she stopped. Lena's story is not special. It happens to many people. Maybe it has happened to you too. Maybe you felt motivated before, but then life got busy or hard, and you stopped. That's okay, it happens. But it shows us something important. Motivation alone is not enough. It is not strong enough to carry you all the way to your goal. That's why so many dreams are broken. People start with excitement, but give up when it gets hard. They blame their lack of motivation. They say, "I just don't feel it anymore." But the real problem is not their feelings. The real problem is they don't have a system. They don't have daily habits. They don't have discipline. So what can we learn from this? We can learn that motivation is helpful, but it is not everything. It is good for starting, but it cannot keep you moving forever. You need something stronger than motivation. You need discipline. You need to say, even if I don't feel like it, I will do something small today. Maybe 10 minutes of listening. Maybe reading one short story. Maybe repeating 10 English sentences. It doesn't matter how small. What matters is showing up. Motivation is like a wave. It rises and falls. But discipline is like a boat. It stays steady. It carries you across the water, even when the waves are high or low. If you wait for the wave, you may stand on the beach forever. But if you build the boat, you will move forward, little by little, every day. Remember, the people who succeed are not the ones who feel motivated all the time. They are the ones who take action, even on the boring days, even on the hard days. They trust the process. They know that success is not about one big day. It is about many small days, many small efforts, one step at a time. So, don't wait for motivation. Create habits. Build your routine. Train your mind to do the work, whether you feel like it or not. That's how real change happens. That's how you learn English. That's how you grow. That's how you win. The power of discipline. Discipline is one of the most powerful tools you can have in life. While motivation comes and goes, discipline stays. It is like a strong bridge that helps you cross from where you are now to where you want to go. Discipline is doing something again and again, even when you don't feel like it. It is doing the right thing, not just when it's easy or exciting, but especially when it's hard or boring. This is what makes discipline so powerful. It gives you control over your actions, no matter what your emotions are. Many people wait for motivation to begin something. They say, I'll start when I feel ready. But what happens when they don't feel ready? They wait, and often they never start. Or they start, but stop quickly because motivation is not strong every day. But with discipline, you don't wait for the perfect mood. You follow a plan. You do it because you decided to do it. That's the secret. Discipline keeps you moving forward, even on the days when you don't feel like doing anything at all. Let's take an example. Imagine a man named Adam. Adam wants to become fluent in English. He dreams of getting a better job, traveling, and meeting new people. At first, he feels very motivated. He watches English videos, listens to podcasts, and studies for 2 hours every day. But after 2 weeks, something changes. He gets busy at work. He feels tired. His motivation drops. Many people stop here. But Adam is different. Adam understands the power of discipline. So instead of quitting, he makes a simple plan. He says, I will study English for 30 minutes every day, no matter what. Even when he doesn't feel excited, even when he is tired, even when he doesn't see big results right away. He keeps going. Every day he does a little. Sometimes he just listens to one English story. Sometimes he writes 5 new words in his notebook. Some days he practices speaking for just 10 minutes. It doesn't matter how much. What matters is that he shows up every single day. After a few months, something interesting happens. Adam starts to feel more confident. He understands more words. He can speak better. People notice. His friends say, wow, your English is improving. He didn't become fluent in one day. It took time, but because he had discipline, he kept learning, step by step. And those small steps became big results. That's the power of discipline. Discipline works like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. At first, it may feel difficult. You may want to give up. You may say, "What's the point? I don't see fast results." But if you keep going, even with small steps, your mind becomes stronger. You stop waiting for motivation. You start trusting your routine. And one day, you look back and see how far you've come. Discipline also teaches you patience. In today's world, people want fast results. They want to speak English fluently in 1 week or 1 month. But real learning takes time. It takes practice. Discipline helps you stay calm and focused, even when progress feels slow. It helps you understand that every small effort matters. Every word you learn, every sentence you speak, every minute you spend listening is part of the journey. Let's think about other areas of life, too. A musician becomes great not by playing only when they feel like it, but by practicing every day. A writer finishes a book not just when inspiration comes, but by writing 1 page at a time. A runner finishes a marathon not by running fast for 1 minute, but by running step after step for many miles. It's the same with learning English. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to feel excited every day. You just need to keep going. That's what discipline helps you do. The best part is that discipline creates habits. And when something becomes a habit, it feels natural. You don't have to think about it or push yourself so hard. It becomes part of your daily life, like brushing your teeth or drinking water. At first, discipline takes energy, but later, it gives you energy. It gives you strength and confidence. It helps you feel proud because you are doing something that matters, not just once, but every day. So remember this: motivation can start the engine, but discipline drives the car. Even when the road is long, even when the weather is bad, even when you feel tired, discipline keeps you on the road to success. You don't need to be the smartest or the fastest. You just need to be consistent. That is the real power of discipline. It turns small daily actions into big lifetime results. Discipline plus motivation. The perfect team. When it comes to success, there are two powerful forces that can help you reach your goals: motivation and discipline. They are not enemies. In fact, they are a perfect team. Each one has its own job, and together they can take you very far. When you understand how to use both, your chances of reaching your dreams become much higher. Let's explore how they work together and why they are so important. Motivation is the spark. It is the excitement you feel when you start something new. It gives you energy and makes you feel ready to take action. For example, when you decide to learn English, you might feel excited at the beginning. You imagine yourself speaking fluently, traveling, getting a better job, or meeting new people. This dream fills you with positive feelings. That is motivation. It gives you the first push. It says, "Let's go. You can do this." But here's the truth. Motivation doesn't last forever. It comes and goes like the weather. One day, you feel full of energy. The next day, you feel tired or bored. If you only depend on motivation, you will stop when those good feelings disappear. That's why many people start strong but don't finish. They begin learning, going to the gym, or writing a book. But after a few weeks, they give up. Not because they are lazy, but because they don't know how to keep going when motivation fades. This is where discipline becomes the hero. Discipline is not about feelings, it is about decisions. It means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is what helps you continue after motivation goes away. It is the quiet, strong voice that says, "I don't feel like it today, but I will still do it." Discipline keeps you on track. It helps you build habits. It turns your goals into daily actions. And most importantly, it helps you finish what you started. Now imagine what happens when you use both motivation and discipline together. Motivation gives you the dream. Discipline turns that dream into reality. Motivation says, "Let's begin this journey." Discipline says, "Let's keep going until we get there." You need both. They are like two legs. With only one, you can't walk properly. But with both, you move forward with strength and balance. Let's take the example of a student named Fatima. She is excited about learning English. She watches a video about someone who changed their life by learning English, and she feels inspired. That's her motivation. She buys a notebook, downloads some learning apps, and tells her friends, "I'm going to speak English fluently." For the first week, she studies 2 hours every day. She is motivated and happy. But soon, life gets busy. She has school, work, and family responsibilities. She feels tired. The excitement starts to go away. One day, she misses her study time. The next day, she forgets. A few days later, she thinks, "Maybe I'm not good at this. Maybe it's too hard." This happens to many people. But this time, Fatima does something different. She remembers the power of discipline. Fatima makes a simple plan. "I will study English for 20 minutes every day, no matter what." Even when she is tired, even when she doesn't feel excited, she follows this plan with discipline. Some days, she feels motivated again and studies for 1 hour. Other days, she only does 20 minutes. But she never stops. Slowly, her English improves. After a few months, she can understand more, speak more, and feels proud of herself. She realizes that discipline helped her turn motivation into long-term success. Motivation and discipline can also support each other. When you take action with discipline, you start seeing results. These results bring back motivation. For example, when you study English every day for 2 weeks, you suddenly understand more when watching a movie or talking to someone. This small success makes you feel excited again. That excitement is new motivation, and it came from discipline. So, you see, motivation can start the fire, but discipline keeps it burning. And when the fire burns for a while, it becomes stronger and warmer, and it lights up your path. Another great thing about this team is that it works for everyone. You don't have to be special. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You just need to start with motivation and continue with discipline. If you fall, you can stand up again. If you miss one day, you can come back the next day. That is the power of this team. It teaches you not to give up. It teaches you that progress is more important than perfection. So if you have a dream to speak English fluently, to get a good job, to become confident, use this team. Let motivation give you the reason, and let discipline give you the routine. Let motivation show you the big picture, and let discipline help you take one small step at a time. Together, They will guide you all the way to success. Real-life tips to build discipline. Now that we understand how powerful discipline is, the next big question is, how can we build discipline in real life? It's true that discipline is not something we are born with. It is something we can learn. Just like learning English, it takes time, practice, and patience. But the good news is that anyone can build discipline, step by step. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be willing to grow a little every day. Let's talk about some simple and real steps you can take to become more disciplined in your life and in your English learning journey. The first step is to make a simple plan. When we don't have a plan, we get lost easily. A plan gives us direction. It tells us what to do and when to do it. You don't need a big or perfect plan. Just write down your goal and the small actions you need to take every day. For example, if you want to improve your English, your plan can be, I will study 20 minutes every morning. Or, I will listen to one English podcast each day. When you have a plan, your mind knows what to expect, and it becomes easier to stay focused. The second step is to start small. Many people try to do too much at the beginning. They feel excited and want to change everything at once. But this can lead to stress or burnout. Instead, start with small, easy actions that you can do every day. If 20 minutes of study feels hard, begin with just 10 minutes. If writing a whole page is too much, write 2 or 3 sentences. The goal is not to do a lot at once, but to build a habit. Small actions done every day are more powerful than big actions done once in a while. Another important tip is to stay consistent. Discipline grows through consistency. It's like brushing your teeth. You do it every day, even when you're tired. Make your learning routine part of your daily life. Choose a time and place for studying that is easy to follow. It could be early in the morning, during lunch break, or before you sleep. The more you do it at the same time every day, the easier it becomes. Your brain starts to understand, this is what we do now. After a while, it feels natural. One simple but powerful trick is to remove distractions. When you want to focus, put your phone on silent, turn off notifications, and tell others not to disturb you. A quiet and clean space also helps. When you remove distractions, you can give your full attention to your task. You will finish faster and feel more satisfied. This helps build discipline because you are teaching yourself how to focus. It's also helpful to track your progress. When you write down what you've done each day, you can see how far you've come. You can use a notebook, calendar, or an app. Every time you finish your English study, make a small check mark. This makes you feel proud. It also gives you motivation to continue. Even when you don't feel like it, seeing your progress can remind you, I've come this far. I won't stop now. One more thing that helps is to reward yourself. Discipline doesn't mean being hard on yourself all the time. It also means being kind to yourself. After you finish your daily goal, do something nice. Watch a fun video, eat your favorite snack, or go for a walk. Your brain will connect the habit with good feelings. This makes you want to do it again. Over time, the habit becomes easier because you enjoy the process. Also, don't forget to be patient and forgive yourself. Building discipline takes time. Some days will be harder than others. You might miss a day, or even a few days. That's okay. Don't give up. Don't say, I failed. Just start again. What matters is not perfection, but coming back. Every time you return, you are becoming stronger. You are teaching yourself how to keep going. And that is true discipline. If you are learning English, use these tips in your daily practice. For example, plan to learn 5 new words every day. Choose a small podcast to listen to. Write 2 sentences in English every night. Don't wait for motivation. Just do it, even when you're tired. In a few weeks, you will see results. You will feel proud. Your confidence will grow. And the best part? You will build the habit of learning, and that habit will carry you forward. Remember, discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. At first, it may feel hard, but with time, it becomes easier. Soon, you won't need to push yourself so much, because discipline will become a natural part of you. So, take the first step today. Make your plan. Start small. Stay consistent. And trust yourself. You are capable of becoming disciplined. You are capable of learning English. You are capable of reaching your goals. One small step at a time. Final thoughts. As we come to the end of this episode, let's take a moment to reflect on the main message of today's discussion. Discipline is more important than motivation, but both are valuable in their own ways. I want to leave you with a clear understanding of how to use these ideas in your own life, especially when it comes to learning English or working toward any other goal. We began by talking about how motivation is a feeling that can inspire us to start something. It's that burst of energy we get when we think about our dreams or when we feel excited about a new project. But here's the thing. Motivation doesn't last forever. Some days, we wake up feeling tired or unmotivated. On these days, motivation is not enough to push us forward. That's where discipline comes in. Discipline is the ability to keep going, even when motivation is low. It's the choice to show up every day and do the work, no matter how you feel. It's about creating habits and routines that push you to keep moving forward. Discipline is not about waiting for the perfect moment or the right feeling. It's about showing up, even when you don't feel like it. And that's why discipline is the key to long-term success. But while discipline is crucial, we shouldn't forget the power of motivation. Motivation helps you start, and it gives you energy when you feel tired. Motivation can give you the excitement to begin a new task or to try something you've never done before. It sparks the fire, but discipline keeps the fire burning. Together, they can create a powerful combination that helps you achieve anything you set your mind to. If you only rely on motivation, you might find that your efforts are inconsistent. You may feel excited one day and then give up the next. But if you rely on discipline, you build a strong foundation that will carry you through both good days and bad days. That's why it's so important to focus on building your discipline. Now, let me encourage you. Take action today. Don't wait for the perfect moment to start learning English or to work on any other goal you have. If you wait for motivation, you might never begin. Instead, start right now. Set a small goal. Maybe it's reading a page of an English book or listening to a podcast for 10 minutes. It doesn't matter if you feel motivated or not. What matters is that you begin. And when you begin, you take the first step toward creating a habit of discipline. Remember, discipline doesn't have to be hard. It's about making small, simple choices every day. It's about showing up consistently, even when you don't feel like it. And over time, these small choices add up. You will find that your discipline becomes stronger, and your progress will build on itself. You don't need to make huge changes all at once. You just need to keep going, one step at a time. So, as you finish listening to this podcast, I want you to think about what small step you can take today. Can you make a plan for your English learning? Can you commit to studying for 10 minutes every morning? Can you remove distractions and focus for just a few minutes? Whatever it is, take that first step now. Don't wait for motivation. Use your discipline to take action today, and the results will follow. In the end, it's not about waiting for motivation to strike. It's about building discipline, step by step, until it becomes a natural part of your life. When you do this, you will see that progress comes not from waiting for the right moment, but from making the right choices every single day. So, remember, discipline is the foundation for success. Motivation is the spark, but discipline is what keeps the fire burning. Take action today, and let your discipline guide you toward your goals. You can do this, one small step at a time. I hope you've learned something valuable about the difference between discipline and motivation, and how both can help you reach your goals, especially when it comes to learning English. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate you taking the time to join me today. I hope you feel inspired to take action, even if it's just a small step, to start building more discipline in your life. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to listen again anytime you need a little motivation and discipline boost. Also, if you found this podcast helpful, please share it with a friend who might benefit from it. The more people we can help, the better. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment or feedback to let me know what you think. Your feedback is really important, and it helps me create better content for you. Thank you once again for tuning in. I'm excited for you to continue your journey towards success and learning. Keep building your discipline, and remember, you've got this. Until next time, take care, keep practicing, and see you in the next episode.